Howdy y'all, big country here, big country survival. Chickens, they say hi too. Out here I'm gathering eggs, feeding birds. You're actually resting on one of my chicken coops right now because I've got some littler ones that are not ready to be transferred over with the big ones yet. There's a white egg here. A blue-green, and a brown. I've got some of each in there. 3 breeds of chickens that I have right now. What do I think about them? All right, your whitings. That is the blue-green egg. And there's 2 different varieties of whiting. And Murray McMurray recommends the whitings as the best blue and green egg layer. They recommend them. As far as the blue-green eggs, I don't know. They are the first breed chicken that I've had, really, that I can remember, that lays a blue or a green egg, anything other than white or brown. I have 3 of them right now, and I get 1 egg a day, usually. They're not as steady as the other girls are. Now, does that mean that they're bad? No. They're just not as good. They're more temperamental than the other chickens that I have. But honestly, unless you're going for something cool and all of that with the different colored eggs, they all taste the same based on what their diet is. And mine get a pretty good diet of grain, scratch grains, grubs, green stuff, just various green stuff, scraps, etc. So our eggs taste pretty good, and they have a life. They can get outside some, actually, have a life a little bit more than, your store-bought eggs. Mostly the chickens there, they don't really have a life. They're stuck in a cage inside and basically a factory that's full of live animals. And you know what? If people expect eggs at a certain price, and if more people aren't going to buy or aren't going to have chickens, then that's what it has to be. Is the only way that without really, we could eliminate commercial chicken houses for egg production. We could eliminate them if like 1 in 3 people would get backyard chickens. But people don't want to do that. People don't want to deal with chickens. We could wipe out the commercial egg industry if more people would raise their own chickens. But most people don't want to fool with it. So, you know what? You pick what you deal with. And me, I deal with these lovely, lovely girls that I feed them, and they turn my scraps and grain into delicious protein that I eat, my wife eats, my family eats. I sell some to people, co-workers primarily, but I sell some, and they eat, and my dog gets delicious golden eggs 2 times a day, because hey, we were giving our dog hard food and canned food, right? We were giving that to her. And you know what, the canned dog food people really think a lot of that stuff. And so I have an abundance of eggs, and I give eggs to the dog in lieu of soft food, canned dog food. And it's self-replicating, it's self-sustaining. Look at my lovely egg producers. And behind you is the future of the big country egg production machine. Because I've got 3 roosters. Possibly one is going to get culled just because I don't need more than 2 roosters. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. So the black ones you can actually see back there are the brown egg laying chickens that I have, and they are called a black star. And the black star is a hybrid chicken. And by hybrid, that means they are hybrid sex links, which means that without actually looking for a genital or any of that, without basically lifting the chick's skirts, you can tell which is going to be a rooster and which is going to be a hen, because they have a different coloration. But they are a hybrid in that they are a mix between I believe either a New Hampshire or a Rhode Island red and the hen, I believe, is a barred Plymouth Rock or barred rock, and the rooster is either a Rhode Island or a New Hampshire red. And they are the top rated by Murray McMurray, and which is where we have historically, my whole family, that's who we order from, the hatchery. You can order from other hatcheries. That's fine. I don't care. I really don't. They don't pay me any money. We've just always had good luck with them. And they always seem to have pretty well healthy chicks, and we've ordered a bunch from them. So the black stars, they also have a red star, and the only difference is the coloration, and I don't know what they're a hybrid of. But so basically, if you take you take a black star rooster and a black star hen and mix it, you're not going and have them get together, you ain't going to have a black star chick. You're going to have a mutt, basically, which is okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to have a bunch of mutt chicks around when I start the incubation process, once these boys grow up a little bit. But they are the top rated by Murray McMurray for brown eggs, and they do good. I have 3 of them. And they give me 2 brown eggs a day on average, which chickens are supposed to lay. Their cycle is like every 26 hours. So you basically, if you got 7 birds, you're going to get 6 eggs a day roughly, if they're all laying optimal. Because every day one of them, and it might not work out this way, but you figure on average every day one of them's going to take a day off. But they are good, and they are very, very sweet birds. They're very docile. The whitings are not undocile. But they're not flighty, but they're not pets. And none of these birds are what you would consider pets. But I do pet my chickens if I can get them close enough. I mess with them. I try and get them used to being handled from a young age. But the black stars are good birds. And they're very good. You could make a black star a pet very easily. They're very, very, very gentle, docile birds. Like, you can pick them up. They don't really fuss. And mine are used to it at this point. The full-grown ones that I have are. And they produce a lot of eggs, and they're good birds. Now, the white ones. That is, I swear by these birds. Great-grandma swore by these birds, and she knew what she was talking about. Those are the white leghorns, or white leghorns, depending on where you're at in the country and how you want to pronounce them. Every commercial chicken house in the United States that produces the white eggs that you can buy for like $1 a dozen, those are the birds that produce them. And mine have a life, so mine eggs taste nothing. My white leghorn eggs taste nothing like what you're thinking about at the grocery store. But why they are the number one bird in the country as far as your commercial chicken houses go. Why? Because those things are a small bird, eats the least amount of, they have the highest feed to egg ratio of any other chicken that I know of. I got 5 birds, and about every day I get 5 eggs for 5 birds. Every 3 days or so, one of them will take a day off and I'll get 4 eggs. But I have 5 of them right now that are laying. I get 5 eggs every day, except for like every third or fourth day. I get 4 eggs. They are not pets. They are flighty. They skittish. They don't, they're not a cuddly bird. They were from the moment that I got them. They were just skittish. And that's okay. I don't need them to be my pets. I like my birds. I get attached to them. I enjoy watching them, but I don't need to. I don't need to have them as pets. They're not my pets. They're livestock. Livestock I get attached to, but they are livestock. And there is a place for all of that. When they do stop laying, they will end up going in a stew pot. I'm not going to keep them around when they stop laying. They might not go in my stew pot because I might not have the heart to butcher them myself, but I'll probably donate them to someone who's in need or something of that nature. There's some good charities around here that if they'll take live chickens, they're going to get live chickens. Or if there's a family that's in need that wants to come and get them. But I should have several more years with them. Now, talking about what's behind you. And I'll talk more about different breeds if you want. I've got experience with several different breeds. And what I have behind you is 2 more black star hens that will be laying probably another month or 2. They should start laying. And so I have them. And then I also have 2 black star roosters. And we wanted the black star roosters because the last rooster that we had really, really turned mean. And I, unfortunately, didn't know how to handle him other than to hit him. And that didn't work. It worked for a little bit, and then he'd get the idea that he wanted to try me again. And we ended up giving him to somebody else. He didn't go to the stew pot, not directly anyway. But we have the black stars because they do have a gentle disposition. And we want to breed chickens. And I want the roosters around for protection as well as breeding. But when we ordered from Murray McMurray, we didn't just order these. We ordered with others, and we ordered a bunch of meat birds that specifically they're being raised to be meat. And when they send all of that, they send a free exotic. And I don't know how many you've got to order, but they'll send a free chick. Like one of the black stars was a free chick because we were only supposed to get 1 black star rooster. We wound up getting 2. And we got those 2. And then we got a free exotic. And so we have the free exotic and the 2 black star roosters, as well as my 2 black star hens in there. And we're going to have to figure something out. We'll probably get rid of one of the black star roosters. He'll probably be culled, and because I don't have enough birds to satisfy. Let's just be honest. I don't have enough birds to satisfy 3 roosters, I don't think. Rather than have to deal with that, I'll probably just take one, put them with the other meat birds, and call that good. Because a rooster, it takes one rooster can satisfy or can breed. One rooster can breed. We'll say breed. That's the better term, because one rooster can breed about 7 hens. It take the rebound time on these guys is incredible, right? Daily, one rooster, 7 hens. So with what I've got, 2 roosters should be plenty. And it won't be too much. But that's what's going on with my girls right there, my chickens. And I'm recommending everybody to get chickens. If you're good people and you can get chickens. Why wouldn't you have chickens? They're fun to watch. They're amusing, straight up. Now they are work. But they're not that much work. They're really not that much work. I walk out. I make sure that I walk out of a morning. I let these girls out into their exterior run. I throw scraps to them and feed to them. I have a feeder inside their coop, and I have a water inside their coop, and I make sure it's full. And then I come back. I do the same thing of an evening. When it gets dark or they go into the roost of an evening, I put them back in there. But so our intentions are of having the roosters and the breeding program incubate and keep producing chicks. Give them away, sell them, and raise them for meat and replacements for these girls when they do eventually stop producing. So that's the plan. And I'm not sure. We may keep the exotic. So far, he looks pretty cool. If I can figure out what he is and determine whether or not that's going to be a good fit, then we may for sure keep him. But we'll come to that decision at some point. But the black stars, they're a good bird. Their laying is good. I recommend them very highly. For your brown eggs, white leghorns, I cannot emphasize enough that those are top-notch egg producers. But if you're going to have them for meat, they would be what you would call a fryer. They're not a very big bird. All honesty, that's probably, they probably go to buffalo wings. And your really, really tiny drumsticks at like Buffalo Wild Wings, they're probably from a white leghorn. It's probably a white leghorn that they keep them for so long in these commercial chicken houses, and then they end up going to the slaughterhouse and get butchered and processed. So your little drumsticks, that's probably what a white leghorn, that's probably coming from a white leghorn, to be honest with you. Your bigger birds, those are a bigger breed probably. If you buy them commercially, that's probably going to be a Cornish cross, which I'll do another video talking about them at some point if anybody's interested. So these are my birds. This is me talking about the breeds I've got. And I know I've went on way, way long, but folks, especially in this time that we live in with food shortages pending and happening, and they happened. Like, we're going through this, and maybe they're not in your area yet, but they will eventually be in your area, and they have been in your area, I'm sure, to one degree or another, whether it's directly affected you or not. You remember the toilet paper crisis where nobody could get freaking toilet paper? Think about that. If people are going to freak out and hoard and panic over something made of paper to wipe their butt, what are they going to do when the food runs out? If you saw how people were to each other in the stores when this whole thing started kicking off and people were fighting over toilet paper. What is going to happen if it's that last dozen eggs, or the last pound of hamburger, the last package of hot dogs? What is it going to be? Like, are people going to start shooting each other over a freaking package of hot dogs? I wouldn't put it past anybody. People about got shot over toilet paper. Actually, I think it might have happened. I think I remember something on the news about someone getting shot, and they were fighting over a freaking roll of toilet paper. The more I hear about this stuff, the more I'm just going to stay here. I want to stay here. And these girls help me do that by providing me with eggs and eventually meat. And we do, at a different location, different of our group, we come together and we process, we raise, chip in money for feed, chip in feed, and all of that, and then come together on butchering day. And so we are, like, our chicken doesn't come from the store. It comes from what we have raised. I'm just working towards the point where I can not only raise it, I can breed it. So something to think about. Folks, that's what I've got. And I know I went long. I ramble on. That's what it is. I am who I am. And anybody has any questions about any of this, let me know. I'm going to try and be back more. I've figured out a better... Somebody should have told me about the YouTube app before. I knew about it, but I didn't know that it was so much easier for me to upload videos on the YouTube app as opposed to going to their website on my phone, because that's what I'm running. I wish someone would have told me that, because I could have made a lot of videos and upload it. Like, uploading has been the biggest pain in the butt. So anyway, if you made it all the way to this point, thank you. Like, really, like, legitimately, if you listen to me ramble on about birds for almost 23 minutes, thank you. And I appreciate that. And you all have a good day. God bless.